Well, what's up, YouTube folks? This is a video that I thought I wasn't gonna do, but I figure, why not? This right here is gonna be the 6 things that I hate about this car. Now, in making this video, it by far does not mean that I hate this car at all. I actually love this car. And some of you that's been following this channel for a while know this is my second one. I had a 2016, this is an 18. I actually went back to a Mustang for about 6 months and I wound up buying this bad boy. So this is a little bit different of dislikes now that I've owned more than one. And this one, of course, has the Dynamics package, which has the Hellcat wheels and tires, and it has the Hellcat brakes up front. And with that, it solved one of my dislikes from my 16, which was the 245 tires. So it's got 275. Actually, I bought 275s from other. So this has the Dynamics package on it. And this one right here also has the blind spot monitor, and it has the HID headlight. We're going to go with these big old 6-piston Brembos here. Now on the Mustangs, the rotor is different. I actually love that they put this rotor with the slotted slots in here, the slotted rotor, and the 2-piece design on the rotor. It looks a whole lot better than what they did with the Mustangs with just a big hunking solid rotor on them. And the 6-piston Brembos are pretty much exactly the same. I do have plans to paint those red. I actually do have a G2 torch red colored kit and some reflective Brembo stickers to go back on them. I just got to get time to do that. But that's not my complaint. My complaint with them, the thing I hate, is the brake squeal on these. And I know it's a performance vehicle, and you're going to have some brake squeal. Sometimes some of the higher end vehicles, Lambos and Porsches and stuff like that, have brake squeal for the same exact reason. But it still pisses me off. I really don't like it. I do not plan on changing the pads. It's something that I do hate about the car, having brake squeal, but it only happens when they're, seems like in traffic, when they're real hot, or if they get extremely dirty, which doesn't happen very often with this car. But speaking of brake squeal, that's somebody else's right there. But anyway, when you hear brake squeal, you generally don't think that it's going to be on a car that is like this one. So that's my number 6 thing, is the brake squeal on these 6-piston Brembo. All right, number 5, I'm inside the car here, and I already know that I'm going to get a bunch of rude ass comments. But for me, number 5 is going to be the lack of the SRT stuff. Now, I've changed these paddles out on this vehicle, and the reason I did that is this right here is the factory paddle. I mean, oh, it's an RT, this is the paddle. I mean, give me a break. That don't even fit the design of the steering wheel. You see how the curve fits the steering wheel here? And look, I mean, come on. I don't even want to talk about that anymore. This really aggravates me. Second would be the functions here on the Uconnect. When you go for a vehicle that costs this much, literally these functions in a Scatpack are already on the car. They're already here. So it really doesn't make any sense to me of why they left them off the way they did. And I understand they just want to create some sort of model separation between the Scatpack being an RT and the SRT model vehicles, but you know, it's already on the car. You buy a Taser and everything's already on the car. Everything's here. Eco, valet, track mode, custom, you know, yeah, launch control, shift light, everything for it is already in the car. All you have to do is turn it on, check a yes, and it's there. It would have costed them $0 to give us these functions. And I know, you know, here's the argument. Everybody says, oh, well, it's not a SRT. It's a RT Scatpack. Well, I hear what you're saying. And Dodge did that for money reasons, right? They wanted to create model separation. If they made this car exactly the same, then why would anybody buy an SRT? Okay, well, I mean, I understand that. But any part that I've bought for this car says SRT on it. It says SRT all over this car, straight from the factory. So I don't understand why they wouldn't just give us these SRT functions on the inside. I mean, there are still going to be differences between this car and an SRT if we got that. And matter of fact, in the 2019 models, you can get the suspension and everything on a Scatpack from an SRT, and you get the launch mode button from the factory. So I mean, I feel like they're going to do away with the SRT model for 2019. But that's my number 5, is the lack of SRT stuff, like these paddles and the function. I mean, these paddles are what? It cost me $100, and compared to what these right here cost, probably about 60 or 70 bucks, you're looking at, hey, yeah, add another 50 bucks onto the price of the car and give me these paddles. The steering wheel too. I mean, I would much rather have the SRT steering wheel than this regular RT steering wheel looking at me when I, pay this much money for this vehicle, and to say sports vehicle. I mean, the price difference between this steering wheel and the SRT steering wheel is probably not much. So yeah, well, add another $200. Give me the paddles and the steering wheel from an SRT, and go ahead and unlock the SRT function. Anyway, rant over. I'm not going to talk about that no more. All right, for number 4, it's the alignment of these tail lights. As you can see, this side is pretty straight. It's got a little, the trunk lid is a little bit higher on this side for some reason than the other, and it makes the lines just a little off, but at least they're kind of level with each other. It may stick out a little bit more. It's hard to get on camera. This one you can definitely see. Look how much more this light sticks out at the top, especially at the top with the whole light, than what the trunk lid does. And I know there's adjustments, but come on. Adjustments or not, it's kind of ridiculous. And it really, every time I wash my car, this is really just gets on my nerves. And I wanna do something about it, but man, to have to take panels apart and adjust this stuff, I just feel like I feel like I'm gonna mess something else up trying to adjust it. So that's it's so aggravating. Briefly talk about from out here. It's actually inside the car, and everyone should know what I'm talking about. It's the travel link pop-ups. Like, I don't care if there's a airplane travel warning for the county I'm in. I'm not in an airplane. I don't care. These air quality warnings and all this other stuff, come on. There should be a setting to disable those. And I know I have the taser, and with the taser you can disable some of that stuff, or you could disable all that stuff, but it disables everything with travel link, which means that when you're driving down the interstate and you get traffic and stuff like that, all that info where it lights up the lanes red if there's traffic or wrecks that's been reported, all that stuff goes away. So when you set your navigation and you don't have that enabled, it could potentially drive you onto an interstate that's backed up for miles with traffic. So there's a system that they try to report and keep up with all these different accidents and stuff like that, where it can be reported, and it's linked with travel link to display it on the map, and it adjusts your route of what route it's going to take you on based off of that travel information. So if there's reports of it being high traffic in a certain area, it takes that into consideration and may run you an alternate route to get around the traffic, and it does that on its own. If you disable travel link using the taser, it takes that away. So that's my problem with that and why I won't do it. But the continuous like air quality pop-ups and all that stuff, I mean, that's just, it's ridiculous. I don't care what the air quality is right now. I mean, I still got to go outside. I still got to go where I need to go. So if I'm in the car, I'm already outside anyway and started it up, then it gives me this notification. So that's, there should be some sort of way to turn that off in the factory system. But there's not. I don't know why they didn't put it in there, but they just didn't. Maybe they just, hey, if you got travel link, you got to see this stuff. It's part of the program. It's part of like advertising on here on YouTube or Facebook, something like that. But anyway, that's my number 3 thing that really gets on my nerves about this car is the travel link pop-ups. Here for the number 2 thing that aggravates me about this car, that I dislike about this car, and all the lights on the outside of this car pretty much are LED. Even the tag light, the marker lights on the sides of it, all that stuff is LED lighting, and it looks great. I love LED lighting. But for some reason, these map lights and the lights, all the interior lights, are not LEDs from the factory. They're regular halogen looking bulbs. I mean, so you got to go spend money. Even the lighting here in the doors underneath that lights up when you open up the door, lights up your pathway, all that stuff is this crappy halogen bulbs. I mean, what's the cost difference here, really? I mean, add it on to the car. People, I mean, I wouldn't mind spending another, you know, $100 on that. Hey, yeah, add another $100 to the car. Give me all LEDs on the inside. Make us happy. It'd be, you know, on the grand scope of things of what this vehicle costs is not that much difference. These LED lights, I don't even remember exactly how much I paid for the whole kit. I think it was like 120, 150 bucks, and it came with every light, all the ones that go in all 4 doors, these lights up here, the trunk, all the lights. And it's from Diode Dynamics, and I got a video on that as well. I'm gonna, you know, pop up here in this video links to my other videos where I install some of these things, but that right there is my number 2. It's the lack of LED lighting inside this vehicle. It would have been very simple for Dodge to put them in there. Back here at the back for the number 1 thing that I dislike about this car, that's the dirt buildup on the back of this car. I've literally drove this thing, I washed it and drove it probably 30 miles, not even in the rain. And look at how much dust is on the back of this car and on these lights. I don't know if you can even, come on, focus up a little. See, look right here. Oh my gosh. It just builds up so much dust. And I know all cars dust up back here when you drive them, but this thing it's ridiculous of how much dust builds up on the back of this car. Literally 20, 30 miles after you wash it, and the whole back end, trunk, deck lid, everything is covered in dust. And I know the road's gonna sling it up, but Jesus, maybe it's the way that it's designed, the aerodynamics just form some sort of vortices back here or something, I don't know. And it just cakes dust onto the back of the car in a very short amount of time. It's impossible to keep it clean back here. All right, guys, so that was the 6 things that I hate about this car. Like I said, they're all kind of nitpicky things. I really don't hate this car. I actually love this damn car. But if I want to make a video about things that I love, which is coming soon, I got to make things that I hate. So thanks to everybody for watching. Remember to subscribe if you want to see more. Check out some of my other videos. You can also find me on Instagram and YouTube, Project 392. Thanks.